Hello everyone, Fromark here once again with the Fromark Plays series, and this time around I decided I'm going to do a season of NASCAR 99 on the PS1, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's always been a personal favorite, and perhaps this was my introduction into NASCAR because my dad was always playing it, and I remember when my parents got that PlayStation 1 for Christmas when I was real little, and this was one of the games that came with it. Now I'm gonna do something a little bit different this time. I did a season as Dale Earnhardt in NASCAR 98, so I'm gonna pick a different driver this time. I'm just gonna flip through the selection here. I didn't have any in mind in particular, but there's a lot more drivers to choose from in this game. I'm gonna go with Bobby Labonte for this. Let's see here. 5% seems fair. Damage on. Nah. I will turn up the competition just a little smidge here. I'm going to turn that up to 96 and see what that does. I'm pretty content with everything else, and I'll go ahead and get on with this season.
Welcome to an exciting new season of NASCAR racing brought to you by EA Sports. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Jenkins. Alongside me is racing analyst and NASCAR champion Benny Parsons. NASCAR has seen a number of changes since last season, BP.
Bob, you're absolutely right. We've got some hungry new teams, a talented crop of rookie drivers, and some veterans that have switched teams and are looking to make a good first impression. In addition, we have a whole lot of new sponsors and paint schemes. I can't wait for the green flag to drop.
Well, I certainly agree with that. Any successful championship season starts with a complete team effort and a strong will to overcome adversity. Benny, what do you see as the key?
Consistency, consistency, consistency. Let's not forget in 1996, Terry Labonte posted only 2 victories and still won the championship. Remember, the one with the most points wins. Consistent finishes are the key. And a little luck never hurts.
And just like in NASCAR 98, there are cut scenes that play here and there with the late Bob Jenkins, and he's joined by the late Benny Parsons in this one, and they just offer a little bit of commentary, and they do they do commentary during the races. They have clips that play. I decided to skip I didn't skip qualifying, duh. My bad. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run a lap. I was a little worried about playing this on my PS3 because there's like some kind of weird bug where every time I qualify for a race in NASCAR 99, every time I go into the turn, it speeds it up a little bit. You see how it kind of did it there. For some reason, the frame rate or something glitches and it just speeds up for a second when I go in. But it only does that during qualifying. I will skip qualifying a few times just because it's more fun to start from the back of the field. But I'm very curious to see what that lap did. It wasn't a pole lap. 7th. Okay, that's good for me. I'll start 7th in this race. This is Rockingham, North Carolina. This was a track that wasn't in NASCAR 98. There's a lot of stuff that this game just does a million times better than NASCAR 98 did. Not saying 98's a bad game, but they added more cars and more tracks, and it's not quite a full series here, but you get a good majority of them. The only real notable absences are Daytona, New Hampshire, and Dover. I might be missing another one, but I can't think immediately. But yeah, I tried to turn up the competition difficulty a little bit to see if that would make it a little bit more challenging, because I could easily breeze through this game if I wanted to. That's also a reason why I decided to turn the damage on, so I gotta be really careful not to get into the other cars, because your damage model works kinda interesting in this game. You can pretty much take on like 2 or 3 bonks before the car just decides it's done. And you can easily DNF if you're not careful. Ooh! But it seems to be going so far so good as I'm cruising into the lead, maybe? If I can get to the lead, that'd be pretty neat. But like I said, I tried to turn the difficulty up on it, but I mean, I feel like it's a pretty decent game, pretty easy to get through sometimes. So, yeah, there we go. This one does not have the rear view mirror option, which is kind of disappointing, but that's alright. That's alright. I do have pit stops turned on, so we'll see how that goes. That could completely change the outcome of this race. Oh no. If I take one more bonk, I'm done for the race. So I gotta be really careful. Plus, pit stops should be coming up soon. There's usually, since I got one pit stop on, I would think that would be about the halfway point. Of course, you got your fuel gauge down there. The gauges look nice in this game. They look like they're actually gauges. Oh! Gotta, as the crew chief guy says in this game, gotta ease up into that corner. Oh! I don't know how many more chances I'm gonna get. But yeah, if you go below the apron, it scrubs off all your speed just like it does in NASCAR 98. And keeping in mind that I don't want to damage the car. This is interesting, as there is a front stretch and a back stretch pit in this one. Rockingham eventually took out that back stretch pit. Sadly, they didn't go there for a really long time, NASCAR. So the track kind of sat dormant for a little bit, but it's now going to be back in a lower series role for the 25 season. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be pretty neat, because I've always liked Rockingham. I've always kind of wanted to go to a race at Rockingham. And that's kind of one of my to-do list races, if they ever add it back to the Cup Series, that is. Which I'm kind of surprised they haven't at this point yet, but I mean, I'm not rolling it out because NASCAR nowadays, they like to shake up the schedules a lot. And I've already unlocked all the legendary drivers in this game, so when you see all those legends, there's a few of them that you can unlock in this game, just legacy drivers. The classics like your Richard Petty and your Benny Parsons and Cale Yarborough, the Allisons, Bobby and Davey. Now I think I am on the front stretch pit. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and take my chances. Might as well just scrub off all that speed. And I'm going to come down here. There's no pit road speed penalty. Ah, crap, I took the wrong pit road. I took the wrong one. No, no. Hey, at least now I know. Now I know. Also, my bad if it still sounds like I'm sicker than a dog. I mean, I'm still kind of in the middle of a really bad cold. I'm doing much better than I was a few days ago at the time of recording this. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now I can pit, and I will repair the damage. I would say just go ahead and take care of everything I need to take care of. I like the pit stops in this game, even if they aren't very detailed. There's more going on than the pit stops in 98. I like these little models of the characters here, that the crew guys. And when they have to repair that much damage to the car, they pretty much take the whole front of the car with them, so now it looks like a modified car, which is pretty neat. I don't know how far off the lead lap I am after all that, but I am back to last place, so I did not get a position there. I'm not sure what's going to happen now. I assume because where I missed my pit stall the last time around, I definitely paid the price for that. I think everybody's pretty much done with their pit stops too, so that's not good. That looks like I'm in a bad spot in the pit stop. You gotta be careful in these kind of things. Now, they also have front stretch and back stretch pit stalls at Martinsville and Bristol, because those tracks are tiny and... Ooh, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. It's okay. Oh god. It's okay. It's okay. I got this. Ugh. Okay. Okay, I think we're good now. It looks like a couple of cars got taken out in that mess, so... And I don't have any damage to the front. But now I do, so... At least I'm not going to finish last, right? At least I'm not going to finish last. And given the amount of chaos this has turned into... Oh, no. I don't want to go down the wrong pit lane again. I'm good. I'm good, Haas. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause it real quick, and I will check that out. The statistics, you get that option in this game to check it out, and I am off the lead lap, so... That's unfortunate. That is quite unfortunate, and... I've got to be very careful not to destroy my car, but even if I do, it doesn't look like I'm going to do much better than where I'm currently at, unless I can get... I have a chance to get up to, it looks like 18th, but I don't think that's going to happen here. And it is pretty neat that there is still 24 cars in each race, just like in NASCAR 98, and, aw, man. Well, folks, it looks like I am done for the day. And this is what happens. This is what happens when your damage goes into the red, folks. It looks like I'm going to DNF, but have no worries, because as I had mentioned before, I'm not going to finish any worse than 22nd. And yeah, so no last place. It's going to take me a while to recover from that in the points, but 13 laps at Las Vegas. I'm going to go ahead and go for it, and I think that'll make a good part 1 episode. I can pick it back up in part 2 from there. Yeah, this at the time was a fairly new course. This is the Las Vegas Speedway. They still go there now, but they started going there, I think 98 might have been the inaugural season. Don't quote me on that. It was either 98 or 97. So it was during that stretch of the 1.5 boom, where basically all tracks were 1.5 miles. They were kind of D-shaped ovals, kind of similar to California, Las Vegas, Michigan. Well, no, Michigan, they've been going there since the 60s. Chicagoland, Kansas, and Kentucky are all kind of a similar model, but man, I wish they still went to Kentucky Speedway. I would really like them to put that one back on the schedule, because that was the closest track at the time, and hey, bested my qualifying effort with a 5th place start. Hopefully I can do something with that. Just have to see. Gotta not kill the car this time. I'm sure the pit stops are still on for even a 13-lap dash. I like to kind of keep my races a little bit short when I do these Let's Plays, so it's kind of like a little sprint. Plus, I don't want to keep everybody here waiting for a long 100%er. One of these days I might do some live streams and do 100% races, just random NASCAR races. That actually doesn't seem like a bad idea, but I don't have the time for that right now. I record kind of as I go. Sometimes I can record a couple of videos in a day, and sometimes I just do what I can. Try to keep the content over here going. I try with my busy schedule and my busy life behind the scenes. I would like to get back, try to get back into the lead this time. Maybe I can keep it. If I can at least lead a lap, that'll give me 5 points, and this was back in the era when that actually meant something. You used to be able to get 5 points for leading a lap and 5 points for leading the most laps, but whenever they came out with the stage system for NASCAR, it's now broken up into the top 10 finishers of each segment get points, and I don't know, I've gotten used to it, but I do kind of miss. My personal favorite system was pretty much the 2011 style, but 2011 was my favorite NASCAR season, and that was probably one of the best seasons I've ever watched. It was a really good season. I mean, Tony Stewart won. There was a lot of different winners, a lot of first-time winners that year. That was when my interest was at its peak and life was good. I was only then figuring out what my depression and anxiety was all about. So everything was still pretty peachy. I mean, everything's still good now, too, but sometimes I have my days. I'm sure we all do. But anyways, I'm gonna... Ooh, hit the apron there. I'm gonna hang on here, lead a lap. Starting to approach the point in the race where I may have to think about pitting. I've lost the lead, but it's alright. As long as... I mean, I don't have to win, just as long as I don't DNF. I just want to make it out of here with a good result. I'm gonna try to make it around another time or two here. See what my competition is doing. But yeah, 2011 is one of my more favorite years to look back on, just because I have a lot of fond memories, and it seems like I can tie a lot of good times back to that year. Blink-182's Neighborhoods just came out that year. I was just starting high school. Trying to think, there was a lot of good music that came out that year. There was a lot of really good stuff being played on the radio, and I remember I used to stay up late and just listen to the radio at night, and there was a lot of good stuff being played at that point. I can think back to a lot of jams. And I am going to go ahead and pit this time. I'm going to go ahead and scoot on down here once again. There's no pit road speeding penalty in this game, so I'm just going to repair damage to be safe. I don't know if I have any significant damage, but it never hurts. This race seems to be going a little bit better than that last one turned out to be. But that's how Rockingham is. It looks like it could be a fast speedway, but in reality, you gotta go into them corners real gentle. Of course, I got my reliable pit crew here. Doesn't look like they're doing anything, but they are. And just mash that gas and cruise on out of here. Oh, 20th. Okay, you know what? It looks like I've kind of cycled out to the back of the field, but I'm not in last. And it may not be, I might not be off the lead lap here, so I'm gonna see what I can do. Plus, it looks like, no, maybe everybody's already pitted. I think I can gain some spots back here and still have a good day. There's still 4 laps to go. It seems, I got a feeling that this one's going to turn out a lot better than the last one. But yeah, thinking back to 2011 a little bit more again, it's when I was at my creative peak for coming up with comics and drawing, and I still had dreams of being a cartoonist. I never really pursued that hard enough, but I kind of did. But I didn't really have connections. I used to draw comics a lot back then, and I used to want to make like an animated series, but I don't know, as I got older, it seemed like music kind of became the passion. I feel like music is my best form of art, or if I can just lock in and come up with some decent ideas, I can paint some pretty good pictures and draw some pretty good musical pictures. But I feel like my form of art pretty much shifted over to music by that point, because I was learning how to play bass by then, scratch. I didn't pick up bass till 2012. But yeah, with 2 laps to go, I might be able to squeeze out a top 10 to finish this first part. I'm not quite so sure. The drafting in this game's pretty good. It's really nice to be able to slingshot past people. Ooh, hit the wall a little hard there, but it's all good. Held up by the McDonald's car, Bill Elliott there. And if I can just get by the 33 of Schrader. Come on, come on. Yeah, top 10. Aw, yeah, I did it. I got the top 10. Alright, that's a good way to finish off this first part, if I do say so myself. Yeah, there I am, 10th. That should move me up the points a little bit, too. Let's see what that does. 14th, not too bad. Not too bad. Now, Atlanta is next. I'm going to go ahead and save the season, and I will see you in part 2.